Patricia Forrest-Maxie is speaking out for the first time in years since her son was brutally murdered for being gay. You may remember his name, Jodie Henderson. With the slogan, "Justice for Jodie's Law," his mother made the case in front of state lawmakers for years, pushing for stronger protections for LGBTQ Hoosiers. But to her disappointment, it seemingly fell on deaf ears. ABC 57's Julianne Grohowski sat down with Patricia for her take on Indiana's Pride Divide.
For this to happen to him, it broke me down, all the way down.
8 years later, Patricia Forrest-Maxie is still picking up the pieces in a world without her son, Jodie Henderson.
Everybody loved my son. Everybody loved my son.
The 27-year-old Afghanistan War veteran found beaten to death the morning of January 16, 2016 on Soren Street in South Bend. Patricia still remembers the last phone call she'd have with Jodie just hours before he'd be gone.
I told him everything was going to be all right, and he said, "Mom, everything's going to be okay," and I didn't hear from him anymore.
A year and a half later, 23-year-old Jabreeh Davis-Martin was found guilty for brutally murdering Jodie. Patricia says Jabreeh was a lifelong friend of Jodie's, and Jodie had eventually grown romantic feelings for him. The murder allegedly fueled out of fear Jodie would out Jabreeh as also being gay.
Do you think if Jodie hadn't come out and freely expressed himself as he should, is there any chance he might still be here today?
I believe so. I believe so. I really do.
While Patricia and Jodie's siblings might have found closure in court, she says there are still holes to be patched. For one, she'd like to see Soren Street be changed to honor her son's service and not be a harsh reminder of his final hours alive.
He went to Afghanistan and fought for this country, and he had to come back and get killed on his own soil. So I feel that South Bend owes him something, and that's a street name where he was killed at.
But her primary focus lies in fighting for change and making sure tragedies like Jodie's are prevented through legislation. Following Jodie's death, Patricia and thousands of petitioners fought for Justice for Jodie's Law to be passed, a hate crime law giving more protections to gay Hoosiers.
I pray to God that this goes through for not only my son, for all the others that is coming up and has to, have to be out here and watch their backs.
She says Jodie still gives her the strength to keep up her fight.
He's my guardian angel, and I got to continue to fight for my son.